Hello collective, welcome to the channel. It is September 29th, 2025, and I'm back with another break time message. Thanks for being here, everybody. So it sounded like somebody said something about the FBI, and someone was mentioning a shotgun, as though they were talking about weapons in somebody's house. Short the island, someone said. So, and it sounds like they are limiting supplies to an island location. One masculine is talking about the language that somebody speaks. Some masculine is talking about a Leo and a Sagittarius. Someone mentioned what sounded like the President of the United States. There is something about regulations, which are rules, laws, orders, and directives. The curator is talking about together. So someone's are. He wants to separate them. He wants to eliminate or ensnare both of them together. Is he coordinating different factions of a military to act at once, at the same time? So they mentioned the President of the United States. They mentioned regulations, which are rules and directives. They're mentioning something together, and they're mentioning the same time. There could be a coordinated hit of some sort, or a coordinated catastrophe of some kind. Someone is talking about liquefying her. Now, several months ago, I heard this curator defensively kind of saying, because somebody had asked him what he had done with a woman, and he was sort of defensively saying that he dissolved her and harvested her energy. So it could be that this dissolving or this liquefying is a process of energy harvesting. Take it as it resonates. Somebody mentioned vengeance. Well, vengeance is the Lord's. This woman may be filing some sort of, the other day she had filed some sort of an indictment in the courts regarding these ones harvesting energy off of humanity. They want vengeance on her because she survived one, and she's testifying in court as to what she had endured and witnessed. Apparently, somebody's pet is telling these misogynists all about their owner, and someone is excitedly talking about amoxicillin, which is a type of antibiotic to treat bacterial infections. These folks have a hold on the medicinal synthetics. They always get excited when they speak of someone needing it. It's like they're sabotaging it or something. Somebody is talking about the prodigal son, which is a son who wasted his inheritance but is welcomed back with joy and celebration by his repentant father. Some folks out there resent God's grace. One masculine is making a suggestion saying, let's leave these people alone. Another masculine is saying that they're trying to figure out that there's something about revelations. One masculine is saying, she's humiliating everybody. This woman is filing charges against them for heinous crimes against humanity. And they're so upset because she is a viable source of information, first-hand testimony, irrefutable evidence having been recorded of atrocities committed against her and others. She survived and she's able to testify in court. This one who's saying that she's humiliating everybody is also speaking of some infiltrator, or perhaps he's being accused of being such. Maybe he feels that this feminine is an infiltrator, a virus within the virus, a parasite parasiting the parasite. They're discussing a woman, this woman, who they say is spiritual. The curator is talking to his buddies that remain, trying to convince them that this couple here is dangerous. The prodigal son and the woman that he is united with here, receiving God's grace and providing testimony on behalf of humanity. It's strange to listen to this curator continue to project his own personality traits and intention onto these ones, this prodigal son and daughter. Now, they would never have made it back because they were buried deep and it was supposed to be impossible, but for God's grace, deciding it was time for them to come home. And these ones are so mad because they have these prodigal son and this daughter here, this woman they want to liquefy. They have earned an incredible amount of inner stability and self-control, and that is why they have this authority over their own self, their energy. They can manage themselves in situations which are heavily burdensome, and they do it well. And these ones say that they're dangerous only because they know what they have done with this energy when they were trapped, and their energy was at their mercy. And he thinks that they're going to do the same, but they're not the same character. Karmic debt, according to God, saying that the need for vengeance is in the history, and I am fortunate that that's not my deal. So I'm happy about that. It's like this curator is worried that this prodigal son and this feminine that they want to liquefy is their filing documentation, sharing their firsthand testimony, gathered irrefutable evidence and documentation regarding atrocities. And they don't want these two to share the details about the abuses and about the modalities which they utilize to steady themselves and bring a sense of homeostasis to their temple. They don't want these ones assisting others on a treacherous path. Something has been or will be without warning. These ones have been talking about an ambush. They've been talking about left-handers, right-handers, gauging people's strong sides and weak sides, their vulnerabilities. The curator and his buddies are talking about some sort of charms. It sounds like more charges are being brought against the curator and his family, or whatever this group is. They attempted extermination of a bloodline or bloodlines. So there's a new charge. The curator is talking to another masculine about brutality. He says these two are dangerous because they're telling the truth. And, it's being revealed. And karmic debt is is coming back on them, and they say that these two are dangerous only because they're confessing what they have done to them. You know, they weren't supposed to be able to make it out in order to testify. It sounded like he had been accused of brutality, of attempted extermination of a bloodline or multiple bloodlines. One of the bigger, deeper voices asked if she was Christian. And the energy of this one was very heavy and dense. Malice is what the energy felt like. And as soon as I recognized it and actually internally commented on it, it kind of backed off. It pulled away. So it felt like malice. You know, some people might call that feeling fear, but what it was a very low vibrational entity filled with malice. And like I said, as soon as I recognized it, it pulled away and it stopped. But so next time you feel that you're feeling fear about something and it just crops up out of nowhere and there's no real reason why you should be feeling that, you're probably standing next to an invisible being that is scoping you out. So recognize it. I don't know, compliment it or something. They don't really like compliments. So these ones are discussing this woman's longevity. Now, she's been given a long life. I heard the curator complain that she's getting 1,000 years for what has occurred in her own life and bloodline. The curator is bringing up once again that she requires medicine, and they get really excited about this. They don't believe that she can achieve longevity because she needs medicine. And they don't believe in healthcare or healing, in the power of the mind, or in Mother Nature's plant medicine bringing about homeostasis or even regeneration. They don't believe in that. And they should, and they do actually, but they've got some sort of weird disconnect, because while they're saying that she is incapable of managing longevity because of this medicine, they're also certain that they wish to claim her because they need healing, and they know full well that whatever her state is, she is capable of it. They're desperate to obtain this energy. They need healing. They need somebody to dump their stuff on. They want her to be recognized or tagged or labeled as insufficient and unworthy, unstable. These ones have poisoned everyone and everything. The plants, the soil, the air, the water, the bodies that every spirit and soul are in, you know, in one form or another, have been exposed to this toxicity. They were trying to damage the temples, the bodies, the organs, the mind. But the grace of Mother, Father, God, Goddess, creators of all that is good. The curator is talking to someone about consumption, which is using up resources. There's something about the population. Somebody mentioned the other day that they feel that this woman who is bringing to court indictments regarding these ones feeding on the energy of humanity, they feel that she is going to be the cause of some sort of famine, and they're going to blame the mother figure who is trying to put a stop to this relentless siphoning of life out of the spirit soul complex of humans. And so they're going to create their own story of suffering, why, you know, whatever realm they wind up in, you know, they'll brutalize the feminines and blame it on this woman as though she was such a sinner or whatever, for trying to shut down their consumption of humans stuff. So they were talking about famine, like they're going to destroy everything. They're going to use up all the resources. They've already poisoned and toxified the land and the water and everything. One of these masculines is talking about something functioning, which is able to perform its regular function. A while back, the divine stated that we were going back into a bartering system where the community actually relies on each other and treats each other with respect and even assists each other so that they are successful, so that the community which relies on each other will have what it needs. Going back into that love thy neighbor thing. Someone who believes they have a sense of purpose is someone who is in functioning. They take responsibility for their actions. They live in harmony with others, and they are cooperative and respectful. This is the message that I have for you. I hope that it clarifies something you already intuitively knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody.